Welcome back to my 80% tutorial series. We're now on a new mission, Effect and Cause, starting with Chapter 1. If you've played the game casually already, you'll probably know that this is the game's most iconic mission due to its time travel feature. And this has some small implications for the speedrun as well, for both routing and some small tricks. I'm going to clarify this right now for the entire mission. The past timeline has a clean/futuristic environment, and the present timeline is the one that looks worn down. Just making a special note of this because it can be a little counterintuitive and easy to mix up. Another thing I want to explain with these timelines is how it surprisingly affects wall kicks. The way this feature is implemented is that the timelines are just two different maps positioned above and below one another. The past timeline is on top and the present is on the bottom. If you know how double wall kicks work, this is a blessing and a curse. If you wall kick in the past, time swap, then wall kick the same wall at a seemingly higher position, it will work because you're actually at a lower position from swapping time. Vice versa is also true though. If you try to do a double wall kick how you normally would, but swap from the present to the past, it won't work because you're technically at a higher position. This shouldn't have any significant implications for beginner routes, I just think it's worth keeping in the back of your mind. But back to the overview, this first level of the mission is pretty relaxed. We can't manually swap time yet and there's a lot of downtime. It isn't the most exciting level, but on the bright side, it should be pretty quick to learn as a result. So let's get started. Alright, immediately out of the start prompt, we're going to hold back as we fade in. This will cause you to drift backward, hit the back wall, and land farther forward as a result. As we gain control, we're just going to simply slide hop through these first couple rooms. Approach the vent from the right side and strafe through the next doorway. And you may need to overstrafe a little bit. As you come into this next room, you'll hit a trigger that will cause the first time swap. This temporarily blocks you from progressing, so we just have to wait around until it swaps back. During the wait, come up to this wall and begin slide hopping again when time swaps back. You'll hit another time swap in this next room, so just stand up against this door. Again, slide hop when it swaps back and come over to this right doorway and into the lecture room. Come down this right walkway and stand below this fan on the right side. When time swaps back, jump and mantle up. Then we're going to slide hop through this vent. One small note I'll make though is these bumps on the ground have collision, so just make sure to start your slide once you're on top of the first one. As you come out of the vent, straight to the right, and we're just going to throw in some wall kicks as we come through this long hallway. We're going to do left wall, right wall, and left wall again. Just make sure to watch out for these curved walls since they can eat your speed. And make sure to avoid these NPCs on the ground as well. So we come out of the hallway, then fall down into this open area. If you happen to lose speed in this hallway section, there is a pretty convenient backup you can go for. It's called Rock Boost. You can fall down and get a slant boost off this rock to regain all your speed. To set this up, just sprint off the edge of this hallway and try to slide on this left pocket of the rock wall. With any luck, you should shoot up to about 70 speed, and you can again carry that speed into the open area. When you get to about where BT is, turn into this building on the right. Keep strafing right and land on this stair railing. And remember, diagonal jumps are your friend. When you get on this railing, do an instant double jump, then jump and climb up to Major Anderson, who is sticking out of the ceiling. If you do an extended slide hop on this last jump, it can give you enough height to fully clear the last ledge. Once you're up, grab his helmet and this is going to progress the level. At this point, the rest of the level is mostly auto-scroller as we're just waiting for dialogue to progress. BT is going to prompt us for the helmet pretty quickly though, so we need to be ready for it. Just exit the building after grabbing the helmet and stand next to BT for the prompt. This prompt can be finicky though, so I line myself up with these intersecting lines on the ground and look to the left of his legs to make it consistent. The next minute or so is just going to be BT scanning the helmet for info on Anderson's mission brief. In the meantime, we're going to get set up for the next segment to get a head start. So climb up this side of the building and get on this ledge sticking out. Line yourself up with the edge of it and then just look at BT. It is actually important that you look at him too, otherwise he'll just stop progressing. When BT starts talking to you again, he'll give you a dialogue prompt. Hit the bottom option. Then he's going to throw an improvised harpoon toward this hole in the building, which we can use to zipline. We want to be able to grab it as soon as it's usable though, so we're going to jump toward it before he even finishes throwing it. For the setup, look at BT. When he bends his arm back, wall run a little bit, then jump off and double jump straight ahead. Look left and spam your interact key to grab the zipline immediately. Additionally, as soon as this dialogue prompt pops up, pick the top option. Then just let the zipline kick you off and fall down to this bottom room. You'll go through some scripted time swaps before this door opens, so just hold forward up against it. When the stalker opens it, slide forward then kick off this left wall to hit the next time swap trigger. Then come into this next room and wait behind the laser grid. Again, we have to wait for a time swap to progress, so when that happens, just begin slide hopping again. This last segment is quite particular though, so we're actually going to stop at this next door. The bridge ahead has a bunch of scripted time swaps which can mess you up if you're going too fast. You can either bonk or get trapped outside the bridge in the soft lock. So to set this up, get in front of the door, shoot these 2 grunts, then edge boost as your screen starts to warp. This should slow you down enough so all the time swaps happen before you get to the middle of the bridge. Then you can just slide hop down the hallway, shooting the Marvin if needed, and hit the end level trigger. And that's going to be it for Effect and Cause Chapter 1. Pretty short level in terms of content, so hopefully it was quick to learn. I'll see you in Chapter 2 in the next video. For the intermediate strats, there's not going to be many big additions, we're just going to be upgrading some of the movement sections. Starting off with the intro, we're just going to make sure to use crouch kicking and tap strafing to our advantage. We're immediately going to crouch kick off the right wall, and you want to make sure that you're kicking off the wall before this slanted piece of debris. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to bonk the ceiling and immediately lose speed. Tap strafe left when coming through these vents, and that's going to give you a tighter line toward the next room. As we're waiting for time to swap, we can build up a little bit of pre-speed. To do so, get in this corner after the first time swap and wait for this audio cue. CFEB after the audio cue, then crouch kick off this wall on the left and strafe toward the next room. And you'll need to tap strafe to round the bend here. As you come into the next room, you want to try to get behind these NPCs before the time swap. There's a trigger around them that will instantly trigger the next time swap versus having to wait a second. With this time swap though, there's pretty much no time to set up pre-speed, so just take a CFEB off the door frame. Then you can continue into the lecture room as usual. Moving on to the helmet grab section, we have a long section of movement here, so we're going to add in a frag boost. The setup starts in the vent. You want to slide on top of this bump on the ground and pull a frag at the same time. Tap straight for the exit, then double jump to the right. As you reach the peak of your jump, throw the frag down. You can also just react to the beeping if you prefer that. This should get you up to 50 or 60 speed pretty much immediately. And since we're coming through this hallway a lot faster now, we're only going to do 2 crouch kicks, one off the right wall, then the left. Then you can continue as normal. Fast forwarding to the laser grid room, we're going to learn a new trick called faster than time. This is essentially a pre-speed setup which skips having to wait for the scripted time swaps. The setup for this is pretty particular though. To set this up, stand at the top of the stairs here, then look at the subtitles, specifically the one that mentions Advanced Cloaking Package. When it disappears, jump and grab the wall, CFEB, crouch kick off the curved wall, and just slide up along the sky bridge to the end level trigger. To be a little faster, you can opt for a double crouch kick on the curved wall. Some tips for this is you want to do the CFEB a little late for more speed, and you want to do the second crouch kick as early as possible, and that'll help you clear this plant before the laser grid. That's going to wrap up the intermediate strats though. If you did the Titanless strat in Abyss 1, this is where you can finally get those missed Titan loadouts since it's a new mission. Instantly as you load in, quit to the main menu and reload the level. This will automatically give you the Scorch and Brute loadouts, but also resets your Pilot loadout. During the downtime after giving the helmet to BT, you can take this chance to change your guns. Scattered all around the floor of the level are guns you can just pick up. There's an EVA just a little bit left of BT, which is an essential. As for your second gun, that is the one that's going to be used for the Beacon 1 clear. Your options are the R97, which can be found right beside the EVA, the Flatline, which is just up the stairs, and the R201, which can be found around the left side of the building you just came from. Personally, I like the R97 since it has the highest ammo count, but it's up to you. As long as you can hit auto-scroller speed with it, it won't matter. Now for some actual new strats, a small time save you can add is instead taking the left path into the lecture room. This hits the trigger for the time swap earlier and also allows you to keep speed through all the time swaps with some well-executed movement. To do so, jump down the left staircase and grab the wall once at the bottom. CFEB off and crouch kick the back wall, then strafe toward the vent. By this time, the level should have swapped back to the present and the vent will be open. Going through here at speed will slightly change the frag boost though. Instead, pull the frag as soon as time swaps and tap strafe through the vent. When at the exit, double jump and tap strafe to the right, then throw the frag down at the peak of that jump, just like the old setup. With how much speed this gives you, you can actually get away with doing the second crouch kick in the hallway before time swaps. This prevents the time swap from ruining your ability to do a double wall kick, which lets you go for another crouch kick on the building below, allowing for even more speed. That's all for the expert strats though, not really any big additions. Once again, thanks for watching and good luck on your practice.